I'm standing on a landing of some sorts, and I can see a vortex in front of me
Oh,
the,
very
that are spiraling upwards.
excellent. And is there someone that's there with you that's going to go through the vortex with you?
No, for the moment I'm alone.
What I'd like you to do is just look at yourself, look at your feet and where you're standing, and look at your form, and just describe yourself.
I'm standing of this. It's a marble surface. It's black in the color, but still some transparent.
We've been here before, have we not?
Yes, I have.
Very
I
good.
have been here before.
And what about your form then?
I'm very tall and slender.
Very good.
Long, really long arms, and also I have this just 3 fingers and a thumb.
Do you recognize this form?
Yes, I have been. I have been that being in many places.
Have you been that being in the sessions that we've done?
Yes,
Very good. Are you prepared to go through the portal then? The
I'm
vortex?
supposed to step into the vortex.
Oh, very good. And go
Yeah,
ahead and step into the vortex and let's see where it takes you.
yeah.
There you go.
You
And take a long,
take me upwards, upwards.
and
Very,
breathe deeply.
very gentle.
Very nice.
It's no, it's going fast, but it's very smooth. And I'm going into. There's coming a uh, energy ship to pick me up
Excellent. And where is it picking you up at?
on the top of. I almost exit from that vortex, and now I'm floating free in space.
That's what I thought. Very good.
Yeah.
Could you describe the ship that's come, please?
It's pulsating with white blue light that's going around a rim, but the shape of that ship is there are no sharp edges. It's just like it's made of a strong energy field.
Ah, beautiful. Is it elongated?
Yeah, it's oh, sliding almost up to in front of me. But it's big.
How do
It's
you enter it?
I can just pass through an energy field.
Very nice. And once you're inside, who's there to greet you? Or is there anyone to greet you?
Yeah, there is Chandra.
Oh, very good. Hello, Sandra. Or Sandra, we're back again.
Yes, you're most welcome.
Am I there as well this time? Is
No,
so Sandra's there.
she's here to pick me up.
So who's gonna drive?
We we are both pilots, so
Very good.
we, we sit down by this. It's it's not a control board, but everything is like uh, it's floating in the free air. So we have driven this ship before, and we sit down in some kind of armchairs with metal plates on the armrest, and we just put our fingers very slightly on that plates, and then we just think of where to go, and we are there in an instant.
Very good. And where are you headed then, please?
We are going to a council meeting in the Orion constellation.
Ah, very good. And let me know when we arrive, sir, please.
Yes. She take me a little detour. I think it's beside the galaxy of Milky Way.
What
And
is she?
she showed me that energy field that the whole galaxy going through now. And she wants me to know that we are all affected by this, and very much so.
I have a question. Is that what we call the a photon belt made of gamma rays?
It's many different rays or energy in this beam of energy. But
Can you?
you can call the gamma rays is a part of them.
Excellent. Can you see that our solar system or our planet is in that in it right now?
Yes, she pointed out for me, and it just come very visible in front of my eyes. Yes.
And does it seem like we have a while to travel?
There's a lot of things going on in the total of the galaxy. There is ships all over coming and going, and there are many levels of different energy fields sweeping over big parts of the galaxy.
Excellent. Can you view them as you take this detour? Can you see them?
Do you ask about the ships?
Yes. Is it? Can you see them literally as you?
Yes, I
Okay.
can see a lot of them coming into different areas, and they just some of them just hovering over different planet systems, and some of them are going into planets.
And they're doing the same type of work that they're doing around the Earth as well. Is that accurate?
Yes, very much so, but on different levels.
Understood. Is there anything else that she'd like to show you in this area?
She wanted me to see this and relate this because it's important for us to understand what is going on.
Not
She wanted to let it be known that this is no fantasy. This is really happening.
not just on our planet, but the entire solar system, the entire galaxy,
Yeah.
the entire universe.
And she say of many galaxies, it's the same work going on, but it's very intensive in this part of the universe where our galaxy is now. We have never been here before in this energy field. It's the first time for our galaxy, and also for, of course, then for our solar system.
And it's going to make a huge difference in all the inhabitants on an energetic level.
Yes, it has influence of everything. All molecules, everything is raising to a high vibration, and that's activating a lot of other. It's like a chain reaction.
So would this field, this energetic field that we're entering or that we're in and traveling through, traversing now, would it be considered a portal that will literally shift us into a higher dimension?
It's not a portal, it's a place in our universe that is very high activity in now, but it's definitely taking us into a shift. And she said, you know that.
Oh, I know, but I just like to say it so everyone who's listening, we might have newcomers today, and so I always like to reiterate, she knows how I am.
Yes, and you're most welcome to ask whatever you want.
Very good, then. And I appreciate that. I do have another question before we get to the council. It's a side question, and it has to do with what we call the planet X. They say that planet X is really, really far, billions of what we call light years away, and that it has passed through our area of the solar system several times and has made a powerful impact. Um, what is the nature of this planet X that we hear of, and what does it actually do as it passes by, or what have you? What is that, a fallacy, or there's too many people talking about it?
We are not aware of any such planet, but there are planets that have been flung out of their solar system because of gravity and other things that happen in the neighborhood of that. But you have to understand that the distance are vast in our universe, but you have a lot of planets much closer than millions of light years.
Billions.
Yeah, you have inhabit planet system just a couple of, she say 4,000 light years.
Okay, understood. So, and I just want to really clarify is that there is, we are affected by the other planets that are in the solar system. Yes or
Yes,
no?
yes.
Okay. And
Oh,
we put an adjective or a label as planet X. Some people, they call it all kind of things, but they say there's a particular um, planet or asteroid or something to that effect that's really large, that is playing that has an effect on, I'll just say, on planet Earth, let alone everything else in the solar system or the galaxy. Is there a large body out there that does play an effect every time we come in? I guess.
she tell me that she has no knowledge about such thing.
Very good, excellent. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. So, wherever you desire, if we're headed to the council and the elders of Orion, we're ready to go. Or if there's anything else she'd like to expand upon or elaborate, where she is now, where you are now.
She said you just has to use your common sense, where you all are born with, to understand what is possible or not possible. There are physical laws also controlling things, and nothing that is in deep space affect you by any gravity or like that, but all is connected with different energy levels, and it resonates through all of the universe. But that is on a very much deeper level or higher level than we are talking about here. Your solar system has changed through millions of years. There have been planets in your near proximity, but
That's it.
sorry, the,
Proximity is the proper word.
yeah, she told me that. She said that some of them was in the early state of progress in your solar system. They were demolished, and she said that some of them also was interacted into other bodies, but there is nothing sinister lurking around your solar system. You don't need to think about this.
I didn't say or think at all in any way, shape, or form that it was something sinister. Actually, I
No,
heard that
she
what it
just
was
wanted
was
to
something
clarify.
positive.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, she
I
just
heard,
want to clarify for anyone that may listen into this that
okay.
there
Well,
is.
very good. I just wanted to say that uh, the information that I had heard, which of course is why I'm asking, was that there was a positive effect that it had, and so I just thought since you're showing us the Oort field and all of that, I throw that question out there. It seemed like the right time to ask.
She is very much aware of what kind of messages that are brought out,
Very good.
and she show now in front of me that they are talking about another sun that is connected to our system,
Very good.
as you call Planet X. And many say that I can see it, and the government tried to shield it, but she said that is nonsense, because if such a big body with that mass should definitely affect you directly. So she wants to say that you don't need to have any fear about that.
Okay. So what's really interesting is, as opposed to being a planet, I think you just said there is a sun, or that's just what.
That are the talk going on, that
Okay,
there
understood.
is a big planet or an extra sun.
And which is there any of it, either a planet or a sun? I know you have to be extremely specific when asking these questions.
There's no such thing in our proximity.
A sun or a planet.
Yes.
Very good. What and just out of curiosity, why does she think that so many people are getting that information? What is the purpose of that? I mean, I know people were at first thought that it was going to somehow crash into us, or it was going to rip our protective shield off the planet, and that was obviously what we call fear mongering and fear porn. But
There
what
has
is the
been
purpose?
so many entities in your past history that has come out with this uh, uh, apocalypse.
Very
Yeah,
apocalyptic scenario.
yeah, yes. And you know, if you listen to them, your planet has been destroyed many hundred times, and still you are there.
Exactly.
So why don't you use your common sense?
Well, I am using my common sense, but we have the
She's not
opportunity.
talking directly to you.
I understand that. I understand
Yeah,
that, but I
yeah.
like to, you know how I am. I like to make sure that when you have so many people saying so many different things, I just think those type of things should be addressed, as opposed to, and not trying to make liars out of anyone else, but
No,
I trust what
we
you
know
say.
that is not the purpose, but we have to understand that much of this resonating out of fear, but it's also resonating out of uh, a need to have control of a situation, and they try with any means they can to keep in control of your societies and your awareness. And so it's much resonated out of that. We don't say that anyone is lying. We don't say anything and have no judgment upon anyone. But you have to understand that these messages resonate out of very low vibration, and the low vibration want to keep the control.
Excellent.
And they definitely don't want to let go of their power, but more and more of that kind of, can we call them elite, are losing the control, and they are coming in terms with that fact, but many still really clings on in that low vibration. and they really need help to get out of that mindset, and they are going to get help.
Excellent. We're sending them lots of love and forgiveness and
That's the
very
best
good.
healing you can give.
Excellent.
Just respect and understand what the meaning is, or what the purpose from the beginning are. There's still many of you talking about a flat earth, or that the moon is something
Hollow.
and artificial and so on. But everything that resonating of the the urge to keep control.
Excellent. I'm ready to get to the council. Are we finished here in this area?
We are already here.
Oh, very good.
She had set me down on a big square. That, oh, it's lovely. There's light coming from this place. There is,
Sandra,
yeah, from the center of this place, the light is flowing all over this square and the surroundings and the buildings. It's really wonderful.
Sandra, thank you very much for the escort. Is she going to stay with you or?
No, she's not taking any part in this council.
Very good. And so you say that there is a bright light in the center that's emanating throughout the whole area, and you said it's very beautiful.
Yes, the light is almost like when it surrounds you, you feel calm and satisfied and loved. So it's almost like a blissful state.
Beautiful.
Yes, it's love.
Excellent. Who's here? And is this? Oh, I'll just let you tell me.
I can say that I'm walking into a place, a building, but yeah, it's a building.
Describe the building, please.
The building it's covered in some kind of shiny material, but when I touch the walls, it's soft and warm. It's not. It seems like it's made of some stainless steel or something, but when I touch it, I can alter the shape of the walls, so it's like they are, yeah, they are floating. They're almost like mercury.
Understood.
Yeah.
And then how many are gathered here? How many does it look?
Well, I'm stepping into a door here now, and there's 9.
This is the elders of the elders of the Orion Council.
You can say Orion Council. Yeah, of course, this is the 9 of the Orion Council. Yeah, but no, they're not talking about elders.
Okay, well, I remember the last time. There's several times we've gone and the elders were there, and then
Yeah,
that's what they called themselves, or that's how they presented themselves.
yeah, maybe
So,
because I recognize these different entities and different energies.
very good. I
Yeah,
just okay,
yeah,
and
some of them are pure light, and some of them are having manifested in a body, as we can see as an extraterrestrial. And yeah, there's several, and I can also perceive uh, different gender. There are females and males here.
and this makes you the 10th person in the room. Then is that correct?
No, I'm the 9th.
Very good.
Yeah.
Is this the council where you and I are on this particular? Because we've been to these groups several times.
Yes, we are here, and we have also, yes,
I'm
we have
curious.
been here many times.
I'm really curious. Is Michelle's is she a part of this particular council?
Yes, she is.
So she's there as well.
Yes, she is. But
Very good.
she is a male in this. She's a male in this.
Okay, understood. And if you would, for gratuitous reasons on my part, could you just describe her, please?
Oh, she's. I have to say he is because I perceive as a he. I don't know why, but
It's okay.
the energy, the feeling of the energy is very masculine. It's a powerful entity with a lot of knowledge.
You were going to say beautiful, though. I know that.
Yeah, it's very beautiful entity.
Excellent.
The he is beaming of knowledge and wisdom, and yeah, very pleasant being.
Has this particular entity taken you say, has taken a form, or is it just a light entity?
No,
It just,
it's a physical form. That's why I relate it to a male, because it's very powerful, almost muscular.
understood. Now look at your form. Has it changed in any way?
No, I'm still the same.
And what about
This slender tall being.
and what about my form then?
You are energy.
I'm just a light of energy.
Yeah.
And and so are we all basically surrounding this light in the center?
We are surrounded by that light.
Ah,
It's
very good.
it's everywhere. And
Very good. Can you go ahead and join them if you will? And
yeah,
how
it's like it's little almost like and there is a table, the oval shaped table, but it has no texture. It's just showing up a lot of different images on this surface.
is it levitating?
Yeah, it is. It's just hanging
Excellent.
there like it's hanging from the ceiling, but it's not. It's just hanging there.
Excellent. I had another question about another entity that I have a feeling I'm feeling. Krista Riza. Is her entity energy there as well in this council? Krista Riza. Could you send that through the circle?
I do, and I get a confirm from another uh, energy being.
That she is there?
Yes.
What does her energy look like? I'm curious.
It's just color. It's purple. It's green. It's shifting.
So she and I are just being light energy
Light beings. Yes.
light beings. Very good.
You have
And
no
she,
shape. You are just an energy without any outer outlining or anything. You're just beaming of light and energy, and you present yourselves uh, by letting the rest of us feel your energy, and we recognize that. We recognize that feeling of that energy. We are all connected and have been together for, as you talk in linear time, for thousands of years. We have done this so many times, come together and discuss different matter that needed to be brought attention to.
excellent. And how does this proceed? Do they have a message for you, or
We are, wait, yeah, we are talking about the, uh, we are talking about different agendas we have to, we're talking about balancing different flows of energy, different flow of, as soon as you as a human have a thought in your mind or perceives something by your sense, that it is immediately manifest a frequency and an energy form, and like you're manifesting but not visible. And we are talking about the imbalance of what is going on, because many of you light beings, light workers on your planet are coming together now to perform special form of work into the future, or even from now. And we are talking about the importance of this to be put in action. It's very important to start up this now.
So,
And
such as the three of us right now in this moment, Lars, Michelle, and Hank, we're all coming together. Uh,
yes,
we're,
they're showing me a holograph of some different uh, different method of how we can carry on with this task we have decided to take upon ourselves.
and
And
Lars, do me a favor. I want you to take a long, slow, deep breath. Inhale the energy in this circle, and I want you to make a stronger connection and feel more grounded into this area. And more
I feel very much grounded.
very good.
I'm so they are beaming me with information, so I'm trying to translate that into an understandable language.
And exactly, that's why I just asked your physical body to take a deep breath. If it's grounding, not so much your etheric. I know you're fine.
Yeah, and I want to confirm
Aha.
for us now that the path we have chosen to walk, walk in this part of our lifetime, in this part of our lives, is just a good one, and then we are holding on to the path that we have set for ourselves. And it has two purposes. It have a purpose for the collective, and it have a purpose for your own singular development also. But everything you do as a singular individual resonate with the collective. And they want to acknowledge that all this gathering and the higher self of everyone is very much pleased what we have done so far, and we are on the right track, they say, on the right track.
That's it. That's it. That's the phrase
Yeah,
we use.
yes, they putting this word into me. And they also show me a lot of image that I try to translate into language.
Take your time.
They're showing me image of writings. They show me a newspaper. And I asked them why show me this. Yes, some of us doing some writings.
Michelle is writing.
That is a
You're
good path.
transcribing. Yes.
That's a good path, and keep on to that path. They're showing me yeah, the newspaper can come alive. There's coming out of this, that is a man doing healing and massage. He's massaging a woman, and
That's what I do for a living.
that is also a good path to walk. And but it's also very important for us to keep grounded in the life we are living here, to have the ability to cross over into a higher reality, because it's so easy for a human to get lost in all information flow that really are bombarding into us every day. So it's important for us to reconnect back to the planet also. And they say to me that we have talked about this so many times, so we are aware that you know about this. But if you're going to talk about this, you have to emphasize and you have to make this clear for everyone to understand the importance of being the being you are for the moment.
Being human.
Yes, for you. And you know, everything is affected by this energy level raising now, and your animals on your planet is also getting being by this. The plant life, the sea life, every living being on your planet is going to change in a way that you have never perceived before, and it's very important for you still to connect back to your planet.
Do they think that you and I are visiting them much too often?
And they smiling now. We are here every night. Why do you say night? You do it at
Because I know
night.
they're we're
Yeah.
as soon as we fall asleep, we're out of our bodies and in these
Yes.
councils and doing all these things multidimensionally.
Yes, and it's effortless. It doesn't take any toll of our energy level as human being.
And then I always sometimes I know that you know exactly what we're doing and that we're spreading the message for the masses, but I'm always so personalized, thinking that you're speaking directly to us. Because I know doing what I need to do to pay my bills, and Michelle's doing what she needs to do to pay her bills, and you are doing what you have to do to pay your bills as well. So it's hard for us not to be the physical people that we absolutely are. It's just almost.
Yes. And of course, some of the messages are directed to you as beings because you have set the intention for this session you're having, and you have already put forward the questions you need to have answered. So whenever you have this attention, we are happy to be available for you to do this. And no, you can never do it too often. You can.
Uh, well, of course, I have questions, and of course, it's for everyone who listens in, as always.
Yes.
Particular subject matters. I know that Lars and I, in particular, don't like talking about certain things, anything that's negative or anything that's rehashed all the time, but are there subject matters that are off limits when we come into these scenarios? Should everything that we're doing, and I know we have free will and it's what we choose, but I'm just going to ask. So when we do come together like this, we can get the highest intent for the planet is what's most important, and I know that's what our mission is. But when I come in and I say, for instance, we are talking about the children and we're talking about forgiving and love and love and love and love, and we understand that, but sometimes I have other questions. Like earlier I asked about Planet X, I wasn't thinking about it in a fearful way. There are other questions that I have, even now I have to ask about, because if I'm in a session and before I leave out of a session and you or one of the counselors or someone happens to say, Hank, the Saturnians are on their way, I want to know who are the Saturnians and why are they on their way. And so, should we just be focusing? You know how I am. I'm very inquisitive, and I don't want. I'm familiar with the message of love, and that's what my main focus is. But I'm also always interested in a lot of other things as well. And so,
That is the aspect of you being a human. That is your personality that you brought with you into this reality. So there is nothing wrong with that.
Okay,
But
because
we can
you know,
say that some topics are
yes,
off limit, not because you're not trusted or that we not rely upon your honesty. It's just that you are not ready and prepared for these kind of topics. So therefore it's not brought forward at this time. But soon the whole of humanity can tap into every aspect of that vibration that you are going to raise into. So
and
when you
yes,
are in a seventh dimension, you have access to all the knowledge that are possible to perceive in that frequency.
and
So
this is where this meeting is taking place in the seventh dimension now. Or
yes,
are we in
yes,
a,
we are.
all right, very good. And okay, so and
Bec-
that makes sense. And even as you said it, I'm thinking if
mm,
I'm asking the question, I'm ready for it. But I know you're not just speaking to me, you're speaking to the masses. And I have to keep telling myself that every time as I listen because I'm always so personally involved. And I'm thinking, well, if I have the question, and I know I must be ready for it, but I understand. So,
but you
uh,
also know that you are getting knowledge on a personal level,
yes.
uh, one on one, they say, and that they are connecting to you with this, and it's coming out of you, and but you also sometimes lack a bit of grounding. No, not of grounding. You reconnect to nature. You need to do that a little more because then the flow of this energy is going to flow much freely and you are going to understand more clearly what message it sent to you as a singular being and what your path is and your work is. But that
And
is on one to one, they say.
and I understand now, but even in that scenario, I'm thinking, are you now, is that a personal message to me or is that a message to everyone?
They resonate to everyone.
Okay.
But this was brought forward as you, as a human being, the entity of Hank.
Okay. Because I mean, between the bamboo and the jasmine, I mean, my house, it almost looks like a jungle. I feel like, even though I'm in this big city, I'm totally surrounded by all of my plants. I mean, they've over, if you took a picture of my house, you wouldn't see the house. I mean, you just don't see the house
Yeah.
because it's
And
totally,
that's very good for your environment and your health. But it's hard to reconnect back to the original with something that is man-made in that way. But it's very good to be in that environment for you. It's flowing frequently, different energy in that, so it's very good also.
but you want me in the woods and on the ocean even more.
In a way, if you could seek up a pristine place that are not ex, uh, explored, explored or exploited, I say.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, yeah. So if you try that, you don't need to put so much effort into that, and that is related to all of humankind because that connection back to that original feeling is going to help the energy flow through all of living entities or living being to flow more freely.
Excellent. And what about now? Then I was speaking about things being on limits or off limits, and you said, of course, nothing's off limits, or particular things aren't off limits. What about in terms of modalities? Say, for instance, I actually do tarot. I actually do astrology readings, and I'm channeling and I'm doing the QHHT and I'm a licensed massage therapist. Uh, I pretty much find time to do everything that I love to do and I have a desire to do. Do you think it's best to just, I mean,
As
I already
long
know the
as it
answer to
brings you
this.
happiness, it's totally okay to do
Oh,
this.
so doing more than one modality, I do guided visualization, I do quantum healing hypnosis, I do guided meditation, and I'm saying but I'm just these are the things that I do, so I can only relate to what I do by asking these questions. Is it too spread out, do you think?
No, we can say that everything that brings you happiness and fulfillment is not to spread your energy too thin. It's good for you.
To
But
diversify.
sorry,
To diversify. Say like Michelle, you have woo woo, you have cosmic awakenings, you have 85. Michelle is just like me, and even you, Lars, you do so many things. So I think our questions are, have been answered.
yeah, but if you analyze it, you realize that it's in the same area of work.
Very good. There it
Yeah,
is.
you are
Yes,
still on the path, so you can do different things. You don't need to focus on just one uh, channel, let's say.
I
Uh,
understand.
yeah, so you can do that, and the most important is that it brings joy for you, and you're putting the message out that resonate with anyone, and you do that just great. And we are encourage you to keep on doing this.
Excellent. I'm going to get off of the subject for a second and move back to focusing on the council. And then later, I have two more questions that I wrote down. But in terms of what's going on in this council, what else is very important information that they have that they're discussing that they would like to share with us? Because Sandra brought you there, and the
Yeah.
meeting is taking place. And so,
We're also talking about there are many places in your galaxy, many planets and moons that have been exploited, and we need to help in healing those places, and you are involved in that. You're doing that work already. The all of the beings in here is involved in that in different aspects and in different levels. But that healing is taking place, and you're doing good in that. But
I
that
know.
is something they have meetings about ever so often, because there are still some exploiting going on in your galaxy, and we try to steer that energy flow in another direction.
Could we expand upon? I know that the one planet that I'm working on, that the planet where they're the prison. I don't know if it's a prison, but I know they're hollowing out a place and they're doing all this work. And I know you said I was sent there to do that. How is that particular place going? Um,
You have released all of the imprisonment, or as they were stuck in a thought pattern and in a low vibration. You have done a great job by releasing that, and the healing is taking place as we speak now, linearly. So you're doing a great job, and you're not alone. You know that. You are not alone.
Absolutely excellent. And were any of those humans from the planet Earth that were there on that moon that were working in that area, were they abducted or curious?
No.
Ah, very good then. But
They
was
are, the mostly of them are inhabitants from that planet, but they also they brought in some kind of, you call them slaves? That,
yes.
yeah, but they have been enslaved for generations, so they have forgotten the originality of themselves. But you help them back. You help them back to realize what is going on, and you have set them free.
Excellent. That was my thought while I was there, that they didn't even realize. They felt like they were just working, doing what they're supposed to do, as opposed to, you know,
Yes,
thinking, oh my God, we got to get out of here or something. So
yes.
uh, that's really good to know. Very good. Um, Whew, that's deep. That's really deep. And so, what about Michelle? What in particular is she working on? The entity of Michelle, not the physical Michelle here on the planet Earth, but the type of work that she's doing in the galaxy or in
She have uh, been very much involved in also in that kind of healing by spreading, can we say, information, but it's not information in form of writings or anything. She's spreading the knowledge like a teacher with a very, as we said, she has a very high understanding and knowledge about many, many things. And she's spreading that in the form of energy to all these places also where you have been helping healing the inhabitants there.
X,
She is also helping with that.
and she's doing that in her dream state, in her multidimensional state, other aspects or expressions of herself.
Yes, of course.
Ah, very good. You
She,
know what I was thinking? I really had I was I know Krista is there, and I didn't share her mind. Just it's like almost like she's like talking to me right now. I was wondering if it would be advisable to have Krista sit in on one of these sessions with us, two males and two females in our physical body, and have her come and be a part of this because I think she would just totally love that.
if that's coming out of her free will, she is welcome.
Okay. What about the expression of her that's there? What does it think? Oh,
They they sending a message that everything is meant to happen, so why not?
okay, very good. And I know Michelle, something went through her head a moment ago when I was thinking about Michelle. I saw your hand. What were you thinking?
I just have a couple of questions, if I may. And I guess, if I may, I would like to go ahead and just speak to the aspect of myself that is there. May I do that?
Yes, you may.
When Hank and I are doing our healing around in our seventh dimensional selves, does it sometimes bleed over to this third dimensional self to where we feel very heavy or we feel very empathic? We feel like we may be transmuting many things from other places. We don't understand why.
It can be spilled over, as you put it, but you also have. Wait, I'm listening. This man here says that the the way you are sometimes feeling is not coming out of that work you're performing in this reality or in this level. It's coming out of the density that surrounds you in your everyday life. And if we understood your question right, you also need to. I have to ask them. Wait a second.
Take your time.
He said, no, you don't have to worry about anything because you are taken care of. And what you can perceive sometimes, yeah, it can be spilled over, but it should never be in negative feelings. Then it's often coming from the inner being of you manifested where you are now.
And is it from? I'm getting from what she's saying is that we're in a high vibration, doing this really loving work, and then we come back focused on our physical bodies, and then it's like, oh God, we're back here again, and then it's just so heavy, and it
Yes,
seems
sometimes
that
it can feel heavy for you in
yes,
that
exactly.
way, but you have to understand that this different aspect of yourself. It's like different layer on your soul and your being. You
I
are
think
uh, you are love energy right through the whole of you, but the feeling of when you are very open, when you are very sensitive, you can take a feeling of some kind of separation anxiety when you come back. Yes, that can happen.
Thank you.
I feel like we have
Um,
dampeners too. Somehow there's dampeners that's why I keep getting that word. I'll go ahead,
Yes.
Michelle.
on the Council of Nine that we are there other beings on that council that we know here in our third dimensional form as people that we know in our life?
We are not so keen of going into that because that is going to affect the way you perceive things. And it's not time for that now.
Thank you. Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
on the Council of Nine, as an entity itself, as a group, place that we meet, we meet all the time. And what is our? You may have already discussed this with Hank, but where did we form from? Are we on a planet in the Orion constellation? And what is our focus of the council in general?
The council has a focus to coordinate the things you already written a contract on for yourself. But you also are giving each other feedback on the progress of your working on your contract, so to say. But we are not manifested here. We are just energy beings. Even if I can say I can see body, they can choose to manifest. And some of us choose to do that because it's feeling easier to have that flow of communication. But I can tell you this much, that yes, here are energies that you are uh, working with in your everyday life. Aspects of them are here, yes.
So
As a reference,
our
Your,
main
your,
focus
your
is
main focus is to stay on the path, fulfill your contract you made with yourself when you entered into your reality and into your planet you're on now. You made this contract that you're going in here and I'm going to do this work to reach these goals. And then you can choose to stay on, watch the result, or you can uh, travel on into other tasks that you want to take upon yourself.
may I reiterate for Michelle, please?
You may.
Michelle, what he said was, as in this council, we come together
Yes.
because we're all like-minded souls. But us in particular, in this particular council, have done lots of work together. And when we come together in this council, we're discussing our our individual tasks that we decided to do when we come and physically manifest on the planet.
okay.
What we know for sure is that we have a mission, all of us, as terms of the planet is going through a shift. And so when we come together, we're all discussing what we're doing together and how it's working, and we get ideals from each other, from our perspective, our expressions, and literally we just manifest that place because we're just energy entities. And for reference, in terms of this right here, we could have just said we were I always say I like for it to be more. just so you, because you don't know, I before we go into the sessions, I like details. I like it to be a beautiful setting, a nice setting, to where as people are listening, they can be drawn into it, as opposed to we're on a black dais, we're sitting here having this conversation, and we're saying, because we didn't have to go through the ship and fly and all those different things. We were already there immediately. There's no such thing as anywhere else but here and now. So that's what. So does that make sense? We,
Yes.
because we come together, we're friends. We've known each other for eternity, and then we talk to each other on this level, and then we wake up in the morning and do what we do. Would that be
The
accurate?
purpose of us talking about different places is that it's resonating with different frequency and vibrations. And we can say, the only thing we can say that we are. But where we are and when we are or what we are, that's just that's just the way it is. We are all that things together, and we decide, simultaneously, as we are on this council, you are on hundreds of other councils doing the same kind of work. It's very strange, maybe, for a human to understand this, but different aspects of you working independently of you, but they're still connected with your soul, and all is coming out of the source. All
Beautiful.
energy is from the beginning, from the source. And we can't explain how that works. We have not that knowledge. We just know that that is so. So it's we understand, as you as human want to have references to make it real, because you perceive your reality with your senses. If you ask us where are we can say we are here. And when you say where is here, wherever you want. So it's very hard to describe this for you to understand with your senses.
It's
But when
relative.
you pass over to the next level, it will be an epiphany for you, and you're going to understand everything about this. And you are going to see every related issues to whatever you have had in your mind as a human, or as a dog, or as whatever. You see all this connection. You can see all of your life you ever lived since you were created out of the source. You can call the source a God entity, but it has nothing to do with religion. It's just an energy level that are complete, pristine, and original. I hope we have cleared this up, and to confirm Hank's talk, he's right about that. Everything is simultaneously, but all over, at the same time, on different time, in different space. It's very
Beautiful.
hard to understand.
We find it easier every day.
Yes, you
We,
I'm
do.
we
very understanding of that. Thank you, and I understand that you went into that detailed explanation for many people who may be listening, and in particular, what got my attention about you saying that you are an Orion Council of Nine
Yeah.
is I do believe that we plan a lot of our things while we're there. So when we wake up here, we have little clues, and I have
Yes.
three moles that are on my leg, on my thigh, where I can see it every day, and it's in they're red, which are the only red moles on my body, and they're in the form of Orion's belt. They're perfectly aligned to Orion's belt.
Yes.
And I also have the same three moles on the side of my face where I could have to see it. So I knew there was a connection to Orion, but I did not know I didn't understand until now. So that is very nice that now I have this information. But what I was really wondering is as far as place, where are we? Well, you said we are the Orion Council of Nine, so we must be gathering in some kind of place and time and space in Orion.
Yes, in a way, yes.
Okay.
But you are not manifested there. You are manifested on your planet.
Our consciousness meets, and we can manifest any form that we would like to
Yes.
in the meeting that we're in at that time.
Exactly. We can make an comparison by you're sitting in your living room in your sofa, but in your mind you can be in another country, you can be on another continent, or you can even be out in space. And when you're thinking that thought, you are just that.
That's where you are, yeah.
Yes. So when we talking about traveling, your physicians say your physical, what is called, your science man say that we can never travel faster than light speed, which is totally nonsense, because with your thought you can be whatever you want to be in the millisecond you form that thought in your mind. So if you're thinking now of Paris, you're there. If you're thinking now of Orion, you're there. So there are no limitation for us in this frequency where we're now having this meeting.
What's very special and what I'm very grateful for is this is the first time the three of us in our 3D body are consciously connecting with three aspects of ourselves in that meeting. So I appreciate that. It's very wonderful to have that opportunity.
You should just know how many places you are in just now. It's
I'm
wonderful.
happy. I'm happy that she asked that question because trust me, when we started connecting, there was at one point when we first ran into Dolores Cannon, and they had the Greys there, and they had, because it was like week after week. First it was the Orion, then it was the Pleiades, then it was the Andromedans, and I was saying, you keep saying these different places. So are we in Pleiades? You said the Andromedans, so are we in the Andromeda? And so basically, what they were doing is being all inclusive. Of course, if your energy has been manifest physically in the Orion, as an entity there, Michelle, I'm speaking to, if you've been manifest there, and we already know we're on that council already, then of course that's where we're going to go for reference, even though there's really nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be in Orion. I close my eyes, I'm in Orion. So
Yes, and we can say
that's the
also
same thing. That's the
to
same.
to you, Michelle, you even choose to carry a map back home. You're carrying them in form of mold on your leg and your face. That you decided to remind you of where you do for first time manifested into a manifestation of any kind. And you decided to carry that in the memory of the cellular structure of you.
And what would that place where I first manifested be? Would we know that as one of the planets in the constellation of Orion?
You manifested in one of the first time manifested on a planet in the proximity of proximity. Yes, they talk to me a little vague sometimes. Proximity of the Orion, and especially the area you call the Orion belt.
Right, Orion's belt.
Yes, there are planet systems there where you have been manifested, where you decided to manifest it for the first time. So that
I'm
is
sure.
your original home, so to speak.
I'm sure that is the place that needed the most of my energy at that time.
Yeah, exactly. That is the only reason you decide to manifest, because it's like giving birth when you manifest. So it's a little bit of struggle for the soul to creep into any kind of form, because you are so enormously big. So when you see a body in our reality, you cannot understand how you will ever fit into that little body.
Many people do not really literally understand how big their oversoul is. It
Yes.
is huge. It's
It's
way bigger than the
it's
planet.
limitless, totally limitless.
When we are, what's really interesting, when we do visit the Orion Council, there's also the Council of Elders as well from the Orion, but
Yes.
it's always in the seventh dimension. But when we visit the Pleiades, so to speak, it's always in the 11th dimension.
Yeah.
And when we're visiting the Andromedans, it's in the 13th dimension.
Yeah.
And so each time we come together in these forms, it literally is going to a particular dimension. So
Yeah.
I just want
Which
to
is in
so
itself is just a vibration of
Mm-hmm.
a
yes.
frequency. So it's just a sign of, we can say it's sign of different kind of information and understanding.
Excuse me, Michelle, just keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay. I am very familiar with my Andromedan
Yeah.
aspects and my Pleiadian aspects as well. I was wondering if I may ask the group or my aspect of myself there, have I deliberately kept memories of these councils from myself when I wake up in the morning from my dreams?
It spills over because you're very open-minded and open for, you're a very spiritual being, and you're very mm, uh, they try to give me the word, but I don't understand. You are very open as a person for influence, so it spills over to your reality where you're manifesting now. So yes, you're correct about that.
Well, I know that my day unfolds with all of the information that I downloaded into myself when I wake up, but I don't have memories of being.
No,
I know I'm on these places, but did I just deliberately choose not to have those memories, or is it because of the nature of the veil?
the memory is imprinted in your mind, in your brain. The memories you're talking about are an imprint in your, yeah, if you listen to your intuition, that you like to call intuition,
Mm-hmm.
it's that kind of information that is flowing, and it's flowing outside the manifestation of you, but it can still spill into your, it spills into your understanding of what is happening, and that is a sign of that you are very open-minded for any kind of this uh, things we are talking about here today.
But I think a lot of people question, and that's, when I ask a question, I know a lot of people can learn from this, but we always wonder why we can't remember being on these councils. We know that when we go to sleep, we are on them, but we wonder why we're not allowed to remember these things. As far as remember being on there and what we talked about, it may come to us as a download later in the day or in the next week or in the next month, but we
Yeah.
kind of wonder why can't we remember?
It will uh, interfere with your actions and your behaving too much if it's coming with you into your reality. And that is not always a good thing, because it can affect you to be very passive as a human. it can also affect you to be very hyperactive as a human. So that is why you not bring it in a clear remembrance, but still you have access to that. And you understand when you now is going into a higher frequency, you are not longer forget things. You are still going to have them with you all the time and are able to connect to that knowledge.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to ask a question now for the collective who may be watching this. Astrologically, we moved what has been named the Lion's Gate portal 8 on August 8 yesterday. Can you give us, for the collective of people who are listening, an explanation of how the Lion's Gate energy has affected our time that we're in right now on Earth?
You humans love to put labels on things. You even label the star systems. You label your children. You label your animals. You label everything. You love that. But we understand that because it's a way for you to distinguish between different energies, and it's necessary for you. But you also have to understand that label is nothing that really exists in our reality or in your reality. It's just another frequency, another energy in another place in our universe. And you're passing through a giant. You have to understand that your planet system is going around in your galaxy, and your galaxy is going around in the universe and interact with other galaxies, both on an energetic level and also by gravity, and everything of that different aspects affect everything else. But the label you put in there is just another label for another frequency and another energy.
Is this a
How?
frequency
Thank
that we
you.
pass through?
I didn't catch your
I
question.
apologize. Is she's speaking of the Lion's Gate? Is that just another energy frequency that we pass through
Yes,
in our orbit? Okay, very good.
yes.
And
But as I said, your humans love labels.
Well,
yes,
we're in
we
a
do.
duality state, a polarity state. We have left, right,
Yeah,
hot, cold, up, down. So how
yes.
are
That
we?
is 3D, but
Okay,
soon you are beyond that, and it's going to be lovely because then you don't have to forget.
hallelujah.
Thank you for that explanation. Now, for this unnamed energy that we are in right now, could you please explain for people so that they can relate to it? What kind of effect has it had on humans? Can you connect with me and maybe just pull that out of my cellular memory, or can you explain it in some way that humans can understand?
I will try to explain that every kind of energy affect you as a being, you as a soul. So this area where you are now are activating new strands in your DNA that lead to another ability to perceive your reality and your surroundings. You are going to reach into a level that you not longer are able to say any lies, because everyone knows who you are, and what you're sending. So there will be not that they are running around reading your mind or anything, because you still have your singular being and have the right for your privacy. But when you interact with others, then it's not possible for you to lie to each other, because the other person will know it instantly. That is not the truth. And all that is activating now in this area where you now are passing through. You're passing through in a tremendous speed, but if you look upon it from outside, it's just like a snail passing through it. So you have to understand that things have to take, as you like to say, time. It takes some time for you to adapt to this. But what is happening uh, in your reality, in your physicality, is that it's turning on strands on your DNA that will enable you to remember that you have forgot.
Okay. Thank
So
you. And so I would like to ask my final question on this, and I really appreciate the opportunity to clear some of this up. It's just wonderful and heartwarming to have this conversation. I feel like one of my specialties here is talking about the DNA strands and the activation. My partner Greg has had this vision about three waves of energy that come. Two of them come at the same time. One comes from one direction, like, say, the east, and the other comes from the other direction, like, say, the west, and they come together. And at first, they looked like tsunami waves, but he really understands them as energetic waves. And these waves converge. And then after this happens, a third wave comes that's way bigger than the first two and washes over the planet. And there's absolutely no fear when we discuss these waves. But I was wondering if this is the moment of the final DNA activation has anything to do with this vision. I would really appreciate a better understanding of this as a teacher to be able to share this information.
yes, you're correct, but it's not coming in from different direction. It's just flowing all over. But you can perceive it as it's coming in portion and in direction. But yes, they perceive for you when you acknowledge that happening. It's just that you are vibrating higher and are transforming into the fifth dimension, and you are as a singular being in a high frequency that man is surrounding you for the moment. Yes.
So that will be the final shift when
It
we have this wave of energy coming to the planet.
I'm sad to say no, it's not the final. It's
Okay.
it's an ongoing process until we are back to source, and we our souls are back to source.
Oh, I do understand what you're saying. And my question really meant for people who are us in the third dimensional frequency, who are know that we are moving into a higher frequency. There will be an apparent time, I believe, that we know our reality has changed.
Yes.
Um, and so is that,
It will be revealed in stages for you, and very much different from individual to individual.
oh, okay, that's very important. Thank you.
Yes, because you are still individual, and you are in different state, and you also are very much affected by your mindset. So we want to bring forward to you there that it's very much important for you to try to shut up all of the brain chatter that is going on. The more you are able to do that through meditation or whatever method suits you, are going to be very much helpful to you for you to transit into this other reality. So that is a good thing.
Excellent,
Thank you.
very nice. I have I was struggling with this as I went to go use the restroom. I was like, okay, here we go. I don't try and break the rules or whatever, but that's all you have to do is just say no. It's another gratuitous question, and the question has to do with the council. I know, like earlier, I asked about Krista Riza and we spoke about her before and you confirmed it. And so you say myself and Michelle and you and Krista are in on this particular council. I was also wondering if the entity Greg Prescott is in this on this council as well. Is he connected? And if you could just put that in a circle, and if they have a desire to answer, please do. I know you can't. It's a way to ask questions. We'll get Michelle on this ball game pretty quickly here. You can't just say, "May I?" and they'll go, "No, it's not best," until they. But I know he gives full permission. But we just
We can tell you that we are very much aware of what you're asking for, but we can say he's not actively present in this council. He's definitely taking part in many different councils.
and that was exactly what I got when I was using the restroom. They're like, he is, but not on this particular
That's
council.
what I got too. That's why I
Yes.
left it.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, but I knew earlier, so I just had to because I feel these nudgings when I'm doing this, and people, I don't know, I could care less what they think. So I am very grateful for all of the information that you've put forward today, as always. And now I had those two last questions that I had to ask before I bring Lars out of this, and I don't know which one is first. Oh, this will be the first one. At the end of a session, it was said to me, and I'm not sure if it was with Lars or with someone else, but I think it was with someone else. They said the Saturnians are coming from Saturn. Oh, and I did a session with a young man from Saturn has the belt or the yeah the satellite right. A gentleman from the UK, Darren, he said he was on that planet and that they were coming to the Earth, but they were coming after the fifth dimensional shift, and it's in the sessions. But when I heard him say that, I remember it stuck in my head, and I remember I wrote it down, and I said, okay, at one point when we get into one of these council meetings again, I was going to put that out there. What did that mean when they said the Saturnians are coming? Is that what the young man Darren was speaking about in his session, or? And they wanted to make sure that I knew that they were coming. There's like, Hank, we just want to tell you that the Saturnians are coming. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what that meant, so I just put it in the background.
They are coming for you to work with, but they are not originating from Saturn.
Ah, okay.
That is just a way to present their present for you, and
A reference point.
yeah, definitely a reference point, because standing on Saturn is not a good idea for anyone.
Well, they were in a higher vibration, so
Yes,
they were
and of course, as a higher vibrating being, they can be whatever they want to,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
they can absolutely come through that energy field of Saturn and take that with them into your reality, and they are coming to work with you, yes, and you are not going to be aware of that from the very first moment, but it will come to you that this is what is happening. So it's going to be revealed for you. And we know that you are not that patient person, but you have to live with that. We are going to say it's happening soon.
Well, I figured why else would I be doing this? My personality would have to be the way that it is in order for me to keep coming at it the way that I am, or I'm sure I'd be doing something else.
Exactly, you're doing what's supposed to be done. Yes.
So you can't even give me anything about what we're going to be working on?
You're going to. They won't give me this.
Okay.
Yeah, they show me images of active traveling, doing traveling, doing healing, doing work together. That is what they show me.
Is Isabel and Augustine in the corner shaking their heads?
And no, they're not.
Oh, very good. Excellent.
Yeah. The council here want to acknowledge that you both are already vibrating very much higher and than you did. It started for you in your linear time 2011, 2012, as for many other people, but there are many people that are still resisting with their free will to go through the transition, and for them it's going to take a longer time, but you are open and very medial. You're very perceptive for this kind of work you're doing. That's why you are getting confirmation that you are on the right path for your contract.
Very good. I was almost reluctant at first about
We can
bringing
say
Michelle.
that someone is going to present herself to you, take your hand and say, hey, I am Sam. So you're going to know when it's happening.
That's the fourth time Sam has um, come forward. I'm familiar with Sam. 3 years ago, I did a session with Abraham, who lives down the street, and he told me 3 years ago that Sam was coming in 2016. And it's so surprised. I have subscribers who've been with me the whole time, and they're like, Hank, have you met Sam yet? Have you met Sam yet? And so I'm still waiting. And at first, I was like, Michelle. I was like, is Michelle's name Michelle Samantha? And it's like, no. So, okay. So
But you have met this being in sessions before, and now it's going to manifest for you. Uh,
because she's
yeah,
physically manifest on the planet. Is that correct?
yes, it's going to be. It's one of them that you call for Saturnians.
Ah, very good then. Excellent. See, if you ask the right way and you just keep digging, you'll get what you and see, okay.
They all smile at you now.
Oh, very good. All right. I love them and I am appreciative and I'm grateful. And I know everyone else who hears this will be the same way. I'm always very reluctant about things, you know. And like I said, Michelle was saying before, I was like, oh, about us coming together because he and I were talking about what and I was like, well, she didn't call me and say anything, and then I just have that sort of suspicious type of I just am. It's a long story, but I think it serves me well, and but I'm really happy to do this. I was picking up on you, and I could tell what you were thinking about Greg and everything, and I didn't want to leave him out for sure. So I know you love him so much,
You
and
are very much connected, you and Greg, and you have done so much work together in past lives, and you're going to do so much work into your reality now and in your future. We want to acknowledge that. We also want to ask if there are any other question lingering that you want to ask.
oh yes, very good. My very last question was I've asked this before, but I know our communication and everything is getting so much more clearer. The Aeon. And this is another one of those gratuitous me questions about the original Aeon. I was told I was the original Aeon, and I just would, like I said, our communication seems to be so much clearer. What is the original Aeon?
It's a close energy to the source,
That's what, yeah. And is that
but
what
it's
like,
just another label.
okay. And is that what, when Michelle asked me, she's like, who are you? And the one thing I didn't say was I was Aeon, but I did say that I was one of the a creator, helped creating the planet or whatever. And I know that in that form I was Aeon.
Yes.
And so, all right, that's it then.
We
So
also
it's
want to ask the entity of Michelle if she has another question.
Well, I didn't get to ask my aspect, my seventh dimensional aspect there,
Yes.
if there is a message that you would like to give humanity while you have the floor.
Very good.
We have done this many times, and I will repeat it again. The importance of you to acknowledge the connection in the collective on your planet. It's very, very important for you to transition into a higher frequency and a higher understanding. Before, if you not do that, there is going to be a broken uh, chain in this transition. And if they decide to stay out of this transition into this new reality for you, they can do so because they have a free will, but they need to be taken care of, and you can start to taking care of them already now. And that is what you do with your different work you're performing now, because you're helping them out of a state of mind that this is not possible, this is not for me, no, it's not happening, and you're spreading this knowledge all over your planet almost for anyone to tap into. And many of those people are tapping into that work, so keep on doing that. It's very important
And is that directed to me?
to you as a
Okay.
light worker.
Thank you. And so, because I am tied to the collective message then for everyone would be to acknowledge that we are all connected
Yes.
and that there is no such thing as good and bad, even though we're in a polarity. There's negative and positive, but everything serves a reason. And we are here as light workers to shift some of the negative energy into positive with love.
Yes.
Is that the message?
That is correct. That is
Okay.
of very much importance, and you can never repeat that too often to understand the collective, but you still have a responsibility as a singular being.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. We are going to a council meeting in the Orion constellation.
Very good. And let me know when we arrive, sir, please.
Yes. She take me a little detour. I think it's beside the galaxy of Milky Way.
What
And
is she?
she showed me that energy field that the whole galaxy going through now. And she wants me to know that we are all affected by this, and very much so.
I have a question. Is that what we call the a photon belt made of gamma rays?
It's many different rays or energy in this beam of energy. But
Can you?
you can call the gamma rays is a part of them.
Excellent. Can you see that our solar system or our planet is in that in it right now?
Yes, she pointed out for me, and it just come very visible in front of my eyes. Yes.
And does it seem like we have a while to travel?
There's a lot of things going on in the total of the galaxy. There is ships all over coming and going, and there are many levels of different energy fields sweeping over big parts of the galaxy.
Excellent. Can you view them as you take this detour? Can you see them?
Do you ask about the ships?
Yes, is it? Can you see them literally as
Yes, I
Okay,
can see a lot of them coming into different areas, and they just some of them just hovering over different planet systems, and some of them are going into planets.
and they're doing the same type of work that they're doing around the Earth as well. Is that accurate?
I'm standing on a landing of some sorts, and I can see a vortex in front of me
Oh,
uh,
very
that are spiraling upwards.
excellent. And is there someone that's there with you that's going to go through the vortex with you?
No, for the moment I'm alone.
What I'd like you to do is just look at yourself, look at your feet and where you're standing, and look at your form, and just describe yourself.
I'm standing of this. It's a marble surface. It's black in the color, but still some transparent.
We've been here before, have we not?
Yes, I have.
Very
I
good.
have been here before.
And what about your form then?
I'm very tall and slender.
Very good.
Long, really long arms, and also I have this just 3 fingers and a thumb.
Do you recognize this form?
Yes, I have been. I have been that being in many places.
Have you been that being in the sessions that we've done?
Yes,
Very good. Are you prepared to go through the portal then? The
I'm
vortex?
supposed to step into the vortex.
Oh, very good. And go
Yeah,
ahead and step into the vortex and let's see where it takes you.
yeah.
There you go.
You
And take a long
take me upwards, upwards.
and
Very,
breathe deeply.
very gentle.
Very nice.
It's going fast, but it's very smooth. And I'm going into, there's coming a, energy ship to pick me up
Excellent. And where is it picking you up at?
on the top of, I almost, yes, very much so, but on different levels.
Understood. Is there anything else that she'd like to show you in this area?
She wanted me to see this and relate this because it's important for us to understand what is going on.
Not just
She wanted to let it be known that this is no fantasy. This is really happening.
not just on our planet, but the entire solar system, the entire galaxy,
Yeah.
the entire universe.
And she say of many, many galaxies, it's the same work going on, but it's very intensive in this part of the universe where our galaxy is now. We have never been here before in this energy field. It's the first time for our galaxy and also for, of course, then for our solar system.
And it's going to make a huge difference in all the inhabitants on an energetic level.
Yes, it has influence of everything. All, all molecules, everything is raising to a high vibration and that's activating a lot of other It's like a chain reaction.
So would this field, this energetic field that we're entering or that we're in and traveling through, traversing now, uh, would it be considered a portal that will literally shift us into a higher dimension?
It's not a portal, it's a place in our universe that is very high activity in now, but it's definitely taking us into a shift. And she said, you know that.
Oh, I know, but I just like to say it so everyone who's listening, we might have newcomers today, and so I always like to reiterate, she knows how I am.
Yes, and you're most welcome to ask whatever you want.
Very good, then. And I appreciate that. I do have another question before we get to the council.
Exit from that vortex, and now I'm floating free in space.
That's what I thought. Very good.
Yeah.
Could you describe the ship that's come, please?
It's pulsating with white blue light that's going around a rim, but the shape of that ship is, there are no sharp edges. It's just like it's made of a strong energy field.
Ah, beautiful. Is it elongated?
Yeah, it's sliding almost up to in front of me. But it's big.
And how do you enter it?
I can just pass through an energy field.
Very nice. And once you're inside, who's there to greet you? Or is there anyone to greet you?
Yeah, there is Chandra.
Oh, very good. Hello, Sandra. Or Chandra, we're back again.
Yes, you're most welcome.
Am I there as well this time?
No,
So Chandra's there.
she's here to pick me up.
So who's gonna drive?
We we are both pilots, so
Very good.
we sit down by this. It's it's not a control board, but everything is like it's floating in the free air. So we have driven this ship before, and we sit down in some kind of armchairs with metal plates on the armrest, and we just put our fingers very slightly on that plates, and then we just think of where to go, and we are there in an instant.
Very good. And where are you headed then, please? So it's a side question, and it has to do with what we call the planet X. They say that planet X is really, really far, billions of what we call light years away, and that it has passed through our area of the solar system several times and has made a powerful impact. Um, what is the nature of this planet X that we hear of, and what does it actually do as it passes by, or what have you? What is that, a fallacy, or there's too many people talking about it?
We are not aware of any such planet, but there are planets that have been flung out of their solar system because of gravity and other things that happen in the neighborhood of that. But you have to understand that the distance are vast in our universe, but you have a lot of planets much closer than millions of light years.
Billions.
Yeah, you have inhabit planet system just a couple of, she say 4,000 light years.
Okay, understood. So, and I just want to really clarify is that there is, we are affected by the other planets that are in the solar system. Yes or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
and we put an adjective or a label as Planet X. Some people they call it all kind of things, but they say there is a particular um, planet or asteroid or something to that effect that's really large that is playing that has an effect on I'll just say on planet Earth, let alone everything else in the solar system or the galaxy. Is there a large body out there that does play an effect every time we come in? I guess
she tell me that she has no knowledge about such thing.
very good, excellent. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. So wherever you desire, if we're headed to the council and the elders of Orion, we're ready to go. Or if there's anything else she'd like to expand upon or elaborate where she is now, where you are now.
She